Tillerson defends Trump on North Korea. 0030 Donald Trump says America's nuclear arsenal is far stronger and more powerful than ever before, after North Korea threatened to strike the shelled Pacific island of Guam. Hopefully we will never have to use this power, but there will never be a time that we are not the most powerful nation in the world, the U.S. president added on Twitter. The comments came as U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson downplayed suggestions that America was moving closer to a military option for dealing with threats from North Korea and said that Mr. Trump was trying to send a strong message to North Korea when he said it would face fire and fury if it threatened the United States. "My first order as president was to renovate and modernize our nuclear arsenal. It is now far stronger and more powerful than ever before." Donald J. Trump at Real Donald Trump August 9, 2017. Hopefully we will never have to use this power, but there will never be a time that we are not the most powerful nation in the world. Donald J. Trump at Real Donald Trump August 9, 2017. Speaking to reporters before landing in Guam, a shelled Pacific island that Pyongyang threatened to strike, Tillerson said North Korea's rhetoric had ratcheted up in the face of international opposition to its nuclear program. "So I think what the president is doing is sending a strong message to North Korea in language that Kim Jong-un would understand, because he doesn't seem to understand diplomatic language," Tillerson said. Tillerson also urged calm and said Americans should have no concerns after the exchange of fiery threats, insisting that he doesn't believe there is any imminent threat. "Americans should sleep well at night," Mr. Tillerson said. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un reacts during a long-range strategic ballistic rocket launch in May. Credit Reuters. He said North Korea's escalating threats showed it was feeling the pressure from a successful U.S. strategy. Tillerson downplayed any speculation that the alarming developments suggested the U.S. was moving closer to a military option to dealing with the crisis over the North's nuclear and ballistic missile programs. "Nothing that I have seen and nothing that I know of would indicate that the situation has dramatically changed in the last 24 hours, Tillerson said. "There is no imminent threat from North Korea," he added. Guam, the tropical island that has become the center of U.S.-North Korea tensions. Credit AFP. Tillerson spoke to reporters aboard his plane as he returned from Malaysia to Washington, stopping along the way in Guam. Hours earlier, North Korea's army had said in a statement it was exploring plans for attacking the tiny U.S. territory, which houses U.S. military bases and is a common refueling stop for U.S. government aircraft traversing the Pacific Ocean. Tillerson said he never considered rerouting his trip from Malaysia so as to avoid stopping in Guam. Though he insisted there was no imminent threat, he noted that even if there were, the North Korean missile capability can point in many directions, so Guam is not the only place that would be under threat. Map Guam. In relation to North Korea, the comments put Tillerson once again in the role of translating the president's aggressive rhetoric into more diplomatic terms, and of working to minimize the chances of a public panic. Though it's extremely unlikely the North would risk annihilation by preemptively attacking American citizens, the escalating rhetoric has heightened concern that a miscalculation could spiral out of control and lead to military conflict, a concern that residents of Guam said they felt particularly acutely. Tillerson, who spent the past days in Asia working the North Korea conflict, said he didn't believe a new diplomatic strategy was needed. Governor of Guam reassures the island's residents after North Korea threat 0048 to the contrary. He said the latest threat from the North suggested the current strategy was working. After months of frustration over China's reluctance to pressure Pyongyang economically, the U.S. on Saturday secured a unanimous UN Security Council vote to authorize sweeping new sanctions that target one-third of the North's exports. "The pressure is starting to show," Tillerson said. "I think that's why the rhetoric coming out of Pyongyang is beginning to become louder and more threatening. Whether we've got them backed into a corner or not is difficult to say, but diplomatically, you never like to have someone in a corner without a way for them to get out." Trump threatens North Korea with fire and fury 0109 to that end. Tillerson said there was still an off-ramp available to Pyongyang, a return to negotiations with the U.S., a step that Tillerson has previously said can happen only if Kim Jong-un's government gives up its nuclear aspirations, starting with an extended pause in missile tests. Talks, Tillerson said when asked if North Korea had the way out. Talks, with the right expectation of what those talks will be about.